Welcome back. In today's episode, we are going to dive into cloud monitoring and alerts, a very critical aspect of ensuring that your cloud infrastructure remains healthy, efficient, and secure. We'll explore some popular monitoring tools as well, and how to set up alerts, and how automation can enhance system performance. So let's get started. So let's discuss let's start with some essential tools for cloud monitoring used across different platforms. How about Amazon first? So there is a tool called Amazon Cloud Watch. It's in the name. It is actually a real-time monitoring service for AWS resources and applications. Well, here you track key metrics like processor usage or CPU usage, memory utilization, and network activities, while also offering alarms that trigger automated actions when a threshold are crossed, threshold which you will configure. The next is Azure, that is Azure Monitor. It actually provides a full stack monitoring for Azure resources, application, and infrastructure. It delivers insight into performance metrics and availability and the usage with customizable dashboards. That is the best part. And it can also let you create alerts. The next is Google Cloud Operations. Now, Google Cloud Operation used to be called Stackdriver. It's an old name. It actually offers the monitoring functionality as well as logging and diagnostics for GCP environment. It provides real-time insights, also automated incident management, and integration with other popular DevOps tools. How about Datadog? Well, it is actually a cloud-based monitoring platform that tracks servers, databases, and applications. It actually integrates well with multiple cloud platforms, offering a powerful dashboard and alert mechanism for performance and security metrics. And there are a few more. The new Relic. Well, the new Relic is focused on application performance and monitoring. And especially, it integrates well with other cloud-based platforms. It tracks the response time, error rates, and other interaction to optimize application performance. So remember, mainly to make sure your apps or your business line of apps performs best. So if you want to monitor your application environment, New Relic will do the trick. All right, the Prometheus and Grafana. Well, these are open source tools commonly used for monitoring and visualizing cloud metrics, particularly popular for containers or orchestrators like Kubernetes environment. Well, with customizable dashboard in both, for a real-time insight, you can take advantage of, say, open source architecture. Now, let's explore how to set up alerts and automate response to maintain system performance. Well, first is you have to define a key metrics. If you cannot measure, you cannot fix anything. Well, here you identify the critical performance indicators that impact your application, such as CPU usage, memory consumption, or network performance or latency, and even in some cases, your error rates. Well, here you focus on metrics that directly affect user experience and system uptime. So first you have to figure that out. The next step is you gotta set up a threshold. Means something will be bad, and above that threshold, things will be okay. So the organization here have to configure a threshold for each metric. For example, if the CPU usage of your web server is 80% for more than 5 minutes, then an alert should be triggered. So that can be your threshold. Now, you can also set a different level for warnings, and your criticality can also change. Now, this allows teams or your departments to respond before the issue actually get more severe. In simple words, you can set threshold and you can also regard it with different criticality. If the threshold is above, let's say, 90% for 5 minutes, that is more critical. If it is, let's say, 50% for the last 10 minutes, not super critical. So here you set up thresholds. The next one is automated actions. Well, here you can enable automated response to specific conditions. Now, let's go back to old example. If CPU usage is high, then trigger an automated response to scale accordingly. Now, if the threshold goes down and the CPU usage is quite relaxed, the server is ideal, then you can scale down. So that is your automated response, where the admin can still be at home and the system will take care of some of the actions. Now, before we move to alert notification, I also want to say something else. Let's go back to other examples. Let's say AWS. So in AWS, you can use some logics like Lambda, or in Azure, you can use Azure Logic apps to actually automate your response workflow. In simple words, automation sounds simple, but sometimes it can get complex. But the good thing is, AWS as well as Azure, they provide functions or services to create some kind of runbook or automated sequences. Once it is configured properly, it will take action whenever the trigger happens. Now we can move to the next. That is setting up alert notification. Well, here you configure alerts to notify a single person or a team via email, SMS, or maybe call or push notification sometime. Now, you can also use collaboration tools like Slack or Microsoft Teams. So the alert can also be pushed on those platforms. Now, you use escalation policies to ensure that critical alerts are prioritized and they are addressed quickly. Even the ticketing system can also be involved in the mix. Integrate with monitoring tools. Well, you can actually link alerts with cloud monitoring platform like CloudWatch from AWS or Azure Monitor for a seamless tracking plus response. So they go together pretty well. Now, the organization can set up a customizable dashboard to visualize system performance in real time, helping teams to identify and resolve issues faster. Now, every morning, they can just come and see the dashboard. And this actually happens in big organizations, especially for telecom industries. They have a big room with a big display where they just see the metrics and they check if there is any alert or not. If there are alerts, they take action and try to fix it as soon as possible. Automate incident remediation or create remedies, basically. So here you can implement scripts or runbooks or workflows to automatically address some common issues. For example, Use autoscaling to add resources during traffic spikes, or restart a unresponsive VM or container. Or if the container is corrupted, heal it. Means create a new container on a different, let's say, node or server without requiring manual intervention. That is the most important part. Now, automation reduces downtime. It also improves response time, and it also free up teams or your department so that they can focus on the more complex tasks. Now, in summary, effective cloud monitoring and alerting are essential for maintaining system performance, reliability, and security. By using tools like Amazon CloudWatch, Azure Monitor, or some third-party tools like Datadog, you can track key metrics and set up automated alerts for quick issue resolution. Well, defining threshold, automatic response, and also integrating with collaboration platforms such as Teams or some other platforms such as Slack can actually help organizations to respond swiftly for a potential problem. Thank you for tuning into my episode today. I will see you in the next episode. Take care.